At last, back out fishing again. And what a great feeling it is to be back on the water on such a fantastic morning, a great morning to be out here. Now, many of you of course will know, but for those of you that watch from different countries, here in the UK during this virus lockdown, we have been banned from going fishing, recreational fishing. But a few days ago, at least in England, they lifted that ban, so we're allowed to go. And I've got lucky that just a few days after I've got a great forecast, so I'm out here on the kayak. Now, what I'm going to do today is mix it up. The first thing I want to do is just enjoy being out here, whether I catch anything or not. But the idea is that I'll mix it up. First I'm going to put a crab pot out, just one crab pot, just to see if I can pick up something at the end of the trip, maybe a spider crab. But I'm going to visit a few of the reefs, see if there's anything on the reefs, with a bit of lure fishing, and then I've got some bait rods with me. I might do just drift around with a couple of rods out, dragging some baits on the bottom, and see what I can find, and also see if there's any mackerel around. So yeah, so mix it up, but the main objective is just to enjoy after so long being out on the water again. When I put the crab pot out on this reef, I saw a few signs on the finder. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to give it a little while here on this reef. This reef sits in fairly shallow water at the moment, so I'm going to cast the lure out and retrieve it back. Just got to be careful. I'm right by my pot buoy here. I don't catch the line of the crab pot. You never know. I don't normally get much on this reef. Sometimes there's fish showing. You think you see loads of fish showing, and you go down and there's nothing. So I don't know if it's very, very small stuff, very small pollock. But we'll give it a go, just for a little while, and then I'll go and do something else. There we go. There we go. Ah! Now this could be a wrasse, of course. Ah, now hey! What a great start! All this time not fishing, and first go, and I've got something. It's banging well. This is on because it's rough ground down there. I've got a weedless soft plastic on. This is a Fiish black minnow. Do you know what? I wonder, is it? Am I going to get lucky and it's a bass? It's certainly knocking like a bass. And would you believe it? Oh, blimey. Hey, would you believe it? Oh, it's going well. As you can probably tell, I'm quite excited. Do you know what? I think it's a bass. I wanted to try this on this reef. I'd made my mind up before yesterday that I'm going to give it a go. Yeah. Because it's early morning and there's a little bit of cloud cover. Later, because this is quite shallow, it is a bass. It is a bass. Now come on, bud. Oh, it's a nice bass. Oh, it's a nice bass. Oh, it's a beauty. Come on. Oh, come on. Oh, hey! Right, I'll get myself organised and we'll sort this fish out. Well, I weighed that bass. You just saw there that it got away anyway, but that's absolutely fine. I weighed that bass, and it went with the net. The net weighs £1 pound. It went £7 with the net, so that was a £6 bass. The reason I weighed it is because I do take bass for the table, as many of you will know, when we're allowed, and we are allowed now to take till the end of November, I believe is right. We're allowed to take 2 bass that meet the size limit, but I have an upper size limit, and that upper size limit lengthwise is 60 centimeters, which is going to be roughly about between 5 and 5.5 pound, roughly. So say roughly £5. So basically anything 60 centimeters and over I put back, because they're prime, might be a female, and they're prime breeding stock, so I prefer to take the smaller ones. So even though that one actually slipped out my hand and got away, I'm not worried about it, because that was going to go back anyway, and I'm just absolutely thrilled on my first trip out for so long. First fish is a really nice bass. So I'm going to paddle back, and I'm going to drift over this reef again and see if I can get another one. Probably won't, but that might be a keeper. For those of you interested, the lure is a 12-gram Fish Black Minnow 120. The rod, just an 8-foot 15 to 40 gram lure rod with a 4000 size lure reel loaded with 20-pound braid. Tied to the end of the braid is a small swivel joining about 3 foot of 20-pound fluorocarbon with a breakaway mini link at the end. The method is casting the weedless lure out and letting it sink right down into the rough ground, then working it back through the depths with twitches back to the kayak. Well, I had about 10 drifts after catching that bass in the same spot, and not a sign. So I'm very, very grateful to catch that bass. Great start. So what I'm doing now is I'm paddling to another reef that's in deeper water and see if there's anything on it. When I say on this one, if there's any pollock or whatever, but if not, if it's dead, then I'll set up a drift to drift over the clean ground, put the bait rods down, and see if I can pick up anything off the bottom, and may visit another reef later if the forecast stays okay, if the weather stays okay, quite a bit further out in a lot deeper water, see if we can pick up some pollock. But in a moment, when I do the drifting with the bait on the bottom, I'll see if I can pick up any mackerel. Although I haven't seen any shoals of mackerel yet. This is much deeper here, so this is vertical. I've got a weedless soft plastic on, and then a teaser, a flyer above that, mainly See if there's any pollock down there. Oh, there we go. Oh yes, there we go. Well, oh, look, not a very big pollock, but never mind. A pollock. Well, I was just going to call it a day on this reef because it's a bit quiet, and it looks like I've got I thought it was a pollock, and it's a nice mackerel, which is very welcomed. Right, what I think I'll do is, now I've caught that mackerel, it's very, very quiet. It's very quiet on this reef as regards pollock. Just had that one pollock, but there doesn't seem to be anything of any size there. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to set up a drift, and I'm going to do some drifting on the bottom with the bait, see if we can pick up some flatties. And now I'm just going to go down while I'm talking. There's a fish showing down there at the moment. And while I do that, now I know there's mackerel around, although it's patchy, I will see if I can pick up a few mackerel at the same time. Alright, I'm just ready to start the drifting with the baits, dragging the baits along the bottom. So on one rod I've got a bit of peeler crab, thread up the shank of the hook, and on that just about a 3-inch strip of sand eel or lance fillet, and on the other rod I've just got a strip of the belly section of a mackerel, just about about 3 inches, and we'll drift along and see if there's anything on the bottom. You never know your luck. But I might, as I said, I might visit 1 or 2 reefs later.
The drift would take me out to another reef further offshore in much deeper water, and the idea was to catch what I could on the way out and then spend some time lure fishing on the reef to see what I could catch there. Well, only the one mackerel on the way out to the reef, and after spending an hour on the reef with just those couple of fish, I decided to call it a day and paddle in. Nothing in the pot on this occasion, but no doubt I will get something on another trip.
Well, back in now, so absolutely great to get out there after so long, and even better to catch that bass, that nice bass as the first fish on my first day back. So thoroughly enjoyable day, and look forward to getting out here again. So once again, I hope you found that useful, and many thanks for watching.